Hey YouTube, how's it going? Hope you're having another day in paradise. I know I am. So, had a little bit of a late night last night, working the alarm room at the fire department, and got out a little late. And then my daughter had a couple of softball games today, so we've been busy, but got back. I've got a project I'm working on that I need to try to get done by the end of this coming week. For a local farmer, and it's this is a grain head for a combine, and it's getting that time of year where they got to harvest. So let me show you what we've got going on. Alright, so this is the grain head. As you can see, this part spins around, rakes all the grain back as it harvests, rakes it back into the chute. There's a set of cutters right there. You can see them right there. So that's your cutters that cut the grain. And then the sweep sweeps it back into the machine where that spindle or spool right there, or feeder, catches it, siphons everything or pushes everything to the center. And I'll tell you what, let me walk to the other side and you can see the... So you can see the feeder right there. So that pushes everything to the center. It comes through this rather large opening right there and feeds it into the hoppers in the combine. So that's great. This thing is I think a 60s model. And it's had a bit of a rough life, but we're going to do a couple of things to it. Starting off with some metal repair. You can see right in there, you can see the holes in the bottom of the pan. Well, with that hole in there, that's allowing grain to slide through, and if it catches on that feeder shaft right there, it will actually pull it all the way up and down into the center section and draw it into the machine. So we've got a hole down there, we have one in the center, and then we've got a hole right there, right there, that we need to fix. So 3 fairly large holes. And then if I get time, you can see some of these strips are pretty dry rotted. They're starting to come apart. So we're going to look at replacing a couple of those that are in the worst shape, like this one here. I mean, you can see it's falling apart. The fingers are coming out of it. So we're going to replace a few of those to try to make it work better. And hopefully we'll get it all done. Like I said, he needs it by the end of the week, so time to get busy. Alright, so as you can see, that one, most of the metal was still in it. I was able to, see if I can get a little closer, I was able to clean it up and weld most of it back together. I had to put a small little patch right about, right about there. Sorry for the finger in the screen, but once we got it welded in, I did have to come in and grind it for clearance to make sure that the edges on this drill shaft would clear it and wouldn't scrub. So that one's done. And then the center was a much bigger project. Let's see if I can get in here. We had 4 or 5 holes in this area that we were able to just clean up and weld in. Again, we had to clean those, grind them down so that these tines would clear it and wouldn't catch. But this was the big repair. There was a lot of rot in here, a big hole in there, and I ended up having to cut it out. And I didn't put the patch on top because if it were to come loose, I don't want the auger here or drill pulling it into the combine. So it's on the underside, and then we welded it in. We've tried everything, rolled everything, all that works great, so that one's done. So I've only got one major repair left, but it's the biggest one. And it's this area right here. And it runs all the way from this edge right here all the way down to, somewhere right in here. So that's going to be a major repair. I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. And yeah, so let me get started on that. We'll see what we can come up with. As you can see, it's pretty rusted up under here. You can see I've cut out a big chunk of it. What I've just been doing, let me see if I can get the camera up here. There's, on this lip right here, there's a couple of bolt holes that those bolts go in. And see, there's one. One right there, and then another one right here. And so what I want to do is make the new panel, or it'll come up and butt against this, but it'll ride on this lip like the old one did up to here, and then it'll butt up against that panel. I weld it here, I weld it back here, and then along these sides I'll clean them up and weld them, and that'll give me a nice solid piece in there. I don't want to weld, to this frame, because if they ever have to take the whole thing apart, I don't want them to have to get in here and try to cut it with a grinding wheel. So I want it to go back with the bolts just like it was originally. Alright, so now I'm going to try to lay out the piece to go in here and see if I can get it welded in. Okay, so as usual, I got in a hurry and trying to get the job done, trying to get it to the owner before he needed it and before the rain came in. So got in a rush, got the repairs done and bolted back in, went on and hit it with a good coat of paint so that it wouldn't rust again, and carried it back to the gentleman. So he's happy about it. He's got his grain head back, and as of this filming, he's actually already gone through and harvested. Everything worked great with it, so I was really happy about that. It is extremely hot here, extremely humid, but that's Georgia, so we get used to it. Hope you're having a great day in paradise. Thank you for the subscribers and following. Thank you for your comments. I really appreciate it. Please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.